I mean, look, if you listen to Arthur, that's just...
That's nice.
If we could
that's nice.
just slow clap. Hey, good for you. Yes. Did you win some money? Thank you, Arthur.
Thank you, Arthur.
Dr.
I like it. I like it, Dr. Gita.
Oh, it gets more.
It gets more.
Did you hear that?
I bet that's what was going on in his brain.
Everybody hold on to your butts.
What's up, guys? We are Living in Fiction Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm Fernie. As always, I've got my buddy Diane.
Hello there.
And I got my buddy Arthur.
What's it?
How'd it go this weekend? I think we flew a little too close to the sky and then came crashing down.
I didn't get crashing down too bad. I mean, I still won some monies, but...
You want some money.
He's being modest.
He's being modest.
Yeah. We won't disclose.
We won't disclose the amount. But Art doesn't touch the sky.
Dr. Arthur Alexander here.
I am telling y'all, when I'm giving you my doctor's orders or my stacks, I am not BSing. I use them in my lineups.
And he almost won.
And abuse them to make some money.
So upset. I mean, I'm glad I did as well as I did, but I mean...
Beggars can't be choosers, man.
I can't. I'm good.
Yeah,
I am good. We'll just say I tripled my money.
Tripled.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
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 I'm excited for you. Good job, man.
Yeah, we'll see how this week goes.
We didn't even ask
cross
you.
your fingers and toes. You know what? I didn't play this week because there was all kinds of baby functions going on this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
Nice.
And I really didn't have time. All I had time for was to watch that travesty of a football game on Sunday morning. And then after that, I was like, screw this. I'm going to play golf. Me and George went to play golf. So I didn't care about
when Gurley
football.
rammed the Cowboys.
Ooh. Did you see what he did there?
Uh-huh. Rammed them.
¿Sabes qué, bro? El que se agüita, se encuera, bro. El que se agüita, se encuera. Because this week, well, we're going to talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to talk
about this week.
So let's go straight into the news, guys. Derek Carr, man.
Oh, no.
So is he out for sure this week?
So this week for sure. Now, I was thinking, I confused this because this was one of the similar injuries that Tony Romo had, but I thought it was the one that basically ended his career, but it's not. It's the one that happened like 6 years ago against like the Giants, remember?
Yeah.
And he was only out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, because they just gave him shots and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, like if you ever look at like the spinal cord, you know, there's like that little part that juts out in the back. That's what he fractured.
Jeez.
And they've given him a timetable of 4 to 6 weeks.
So here's a question that I got the other day.
2 to 6 weeks, I think.
2 to 6,
2 to
2 to
6
6 weeks.
So somebody asked me the other day, actually it was George, he's like, dude, what do I do? Do I drop Derek Carr? And I said, it depends on who's on the board.
Yeah.
It depends on who's on the board. I don't know.
I'll say this. So we start bye weeks this week. And so what I always try to do is look 2 weeks ahead. So once waivers run tomorrow, I'll look to see who's left and who's available, and then I'll look at my roster and say, okay, if I try to get somebody and I didn't get them, I'll look ahead and say, okay, who has a really good matchup, either quarterback, like whoever I'm missing. Like let's say, so for example, Russell Wilson's out week 6. All the Seahawks have their bye that week.
Yeah.
So if I have Russell Wilson, he's my only quarterback, waivers go, and I look at my roster, it's like, okay, well, I tried to get Latavius Murray and I didn't get him. So I have one roster spot to burn.
Yeah.
I'll look ahead and I'll see, okay, Deshaun Watson has been playing out of his mind. And in week 6, I forgot, but he has a really easy matchup. So why don't I pick him up right now? That way, next week, by the time the weekend, is over, I'm not having to fight people on waivers to get Deshaun Watson. I'll do the same thing with defenses if I have enough roster space.
Yeah.
And like I said, like this weekend was a perfect example. If in some of my leagues and other people who were asking for advice, like I had someone who said, I don't have any running backs. Do you have anyone you suggest I could pick up on Sunday morning right before the game start? I looked at it. It was a deep league. There wasn't much available. I said, pick up Elijah McGuire just in case, because with Forte out, you'll never know. He had a really good game on Sunday. I mean, Powell did too.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you might not be able to use him every single week, but if Forte's out for 3 to 4 weeks with the turf toe, I mean, I've seen that end people's careers because their feet never get right. Plus, he's not exactly the youngest guy on that backfield.
Yeah.
So if he's done for the year, then it's Powell and McGuire, and they're not going to just give one the full job because you saw that on Sunday. So there's little things like that you can do on your roster when you're thinking about bye weeks.
You know who you might want to check us out there? Only 60% owned in leagues, which is crazy because he's the number 2 quarterback out there right now. You know who it is?
E.J. Manuel.
Alex Smith.
Wait, what? Oh, sorry. I thought you said number 2. I meant number 2. I thought you were saying number 2 by the Raiders.
No,
I was
number
like,
2 in fantasy.
That's what I told people
crazy?
that. I told people that in week 2. Like, what are you doing? I picked him up in one of my leagues where I had Alex Smith and like Carson Palmer.
How many
Now
points
Palmer's
did he score
turned
last
it around a little bit, but Smith had 27 points.
27 points last night.
Ooh. You know,
That was a game last night.
Yeah.
I almost had that one, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah. I mean,
Toxic.
the last 2 weeks, Alex Smith had like 13 or 14 points, which isn't great, but it's not going to kill you. It's exactly what you need.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of quarterbacks have kind of been going up and down. But then he's been putting together games like this, and he rushes a lot more than people give him credit for. I mean,
goodness.
he had that one like 25-yard run. It was insane.
Before he got body slammed. Jeez. But yeah, it was a good one. It was a good
Yeah,
one.
someone's going to break his transfers process.
So Derek Carr being out, what does that do for wide receivers, tight end, running backs?
I was already worried about Amari Cooper because that
Yeah.
boy's been dropping some balls.
Jeez.
That guy. That sounded, yeah. Let's avoid calling football players boys. That guy's been dropping some balls. And Michael Crabtree's been really working as like their number 1.
Yeah.
So if E.J. Manuel is a starter, now granted, we could see something like Case Keenum, where
Yeah.
you know he gets a full week of reps.
He knows
but
the system.
He's not a great quarterback. There's a reason why he bounced around the league after starting for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of those things you probably don't have a better option, but you might. You know, like there are a lot of people who drafted Amari Cooper and then later on drafted Stephon Diggs and Kelvin Benjamin, right? If you did that, you probably would want to start them ahead of Amari Cooper. So I would just, you know, be aware, kind of see what's available. And with, like I said, with some of these players, like you really don't know. You know, I'd play the matchups. I forgot who they're playing this week.
Let me see.
Oh, we have it right here. They're playing the Ravens. That's a tough matchup. So, I mean, if you could find other people to start, I would consider it.
I hope it doesn't affect Jared Cook because in some leagues he's been my only tight end.
Yeah.
So I want to see it this week. I hope he still does all right.
Yeah. I mean, their run game, too, hasn't been looking very good. They're not getting any push from their offensive line, which is crazy because they last year they were the best line in the league.
I know.
So I'm hoping they get it together, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Dalvin Cook out for the year. Did you guys see this?
It's unfortunate, man.
Broke my heart.
Yeah. He just kind of pulls up and
Yeah.
right away.
And fumbles the ball, and
Yeah.
once you see that, you know it was
Something
bad.
happened.
Yeah, you knew it was bad.
He didn't just tear the ACL either. There's like a ton of damage he did to his
Really?
to his knee. Yeah, I think they were saying it was like a ligament damage, maybe meniscus too. They were doing tests.
Yeah,
Terrible.
so he's going to have surgery pretty soon here. In terms of fantasy, so I didn't get to watch this game, but I've been doing as much research as I can because for all our listeners, we usually record on Wednesdays or Thursdays, but because of some scheduling, we're recording on Tuesday night. So we don't have a lot of news to cover because a lot of things can happen between now and then. Like a lot of people, I've heard people saying that the Raiders should sign Colin Kaepernick because that's their best option in making sure they're still in the playoff hunt.
Yeah.
Which would
And-
be the very smartest thing to do.
Yeah. The Vikings could always trade for somebody or pick or sign someone off a practice squad or something, so you just don't know. But from what I heard, once Dalvin Cook went down, Latavius Murray was basically used as like the prime back. And they would use Jerick McKinnon to spell him a little bit. But Jerick McKinnon also kind of tweaked his ankle in the game, so that was another reason why they used a lot of Latavius Murray. If you gave me an option as a coach, just in general, all things being equal, here are these two running backs. Who would you prefer? I like Jerick McKinnon better. He's a better receiver. He has more agility and burst. Latavius Murray is much bigger. He's still really fast for a guy who's like 6'2", 220, but his vision's like he will get what's blocked for him and nothing more. I used to like him a lot, but then I just kept seeing him a couple years ago for the Raiders just running into brick walls because he just was not looking for anything more than what was blocked. For many people, and I have one other person. So for anyone who's listening, I had my waiver wire and I put that up every Monday night to Tuesday morning, somewhere around there. He was my number 2 priority in terms of running backs.
McKinnon or Murray?
Murray.
Oh, I see.
Because the one big thing that differentiated me between the two was who would get work at the goal line.
Yeah.
And so he could be the Mike Gillislee of this offense. And if Sam Bradford's back, then it gives him a lot more value.
Yeah.
So I like him, but there were so many running backs that, I mean, usually like with my waiver wire, I try to give at least 3 per position. There was like 10 running backs that I suggested, and I probably missed a couple. It just depends on how deep your league is.
There it is. Salu.
Sorry. But I really like McKinnon. So if you miss out on Murray, or if let's say, so in one 16-team league I'm in, I have like the 14th or 12th waiver priority. So there's a good chance all of the really good running backs are going to be gone. But if that happens, I'm okay taking Jerick McKinnon because I'll bet on his talent taking over Latavius Murray at some point. But in the meantime, I still think even if, let's say, Jerick McKinnon does take the full-time job, at the goal line, they'll probably still use Latavius Murray. So that's why I like him.
All right.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and move on. Oh, my God. Chris Carson just broke my heart. I saw when I knew it was bad was when I saw Russell Wilson like go, get off of him, get off of him, get off of him. And then I saw the repeat and I was like, oh, I think I'm going to throw up. Because it looked awful.
Sometimes I love Pete Carroll, and sometimes I really hate that guy, man.
Because the game was out of hand.
It was over.
Point. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, pull your guy.
But, you can't blame it all on the coach, of course. Of course.
I mean, a lot of people are going to be asking him and have been asking him that question. Like, why, when you're that far ahead?
First of all, why didn't... If I was face-to-face with Pete, I'd say, Pete, look, tell me why didn't you give it to Marshawn? Why?
Yeah, that's the first one.
Second one. Why'd you have Chris Carson in there, man? Come on.
So he's out for the year, clearly. This is even more complicated than the Viking situation because you have Thomas Rawls, who's had his first game back from his ankle injury like 2 weeks ago and didn't do anything. That's when Chris Carson stole the job. You have Eddie Lacy, who actually looked pretty good last night.
Yeah.
Or on Sunday.
He looked fast.
Yeah. But not as fast as McKissick.
My gosh.
I mean,
he looked awesome.
He looked fun. And like he looked like he could steal the job, but apparently the only reason he was playing was because CJ Procise was out.
Get CJ, bro.
That guy can't stay healthy at all.
No, dude.
I don't think he's played a full game in his entire career. Like so far in his year and a half as a Seahawk, I think he's played one full game.
McKissick looks like the guy.
I mean, but I don't know if they'll ever give him that much of a role. So in the meantime, I will say Rawls. Carroll already came out and said that Rawls is the guy.
Okay.
I still think they're going to use Eddie Lacy, and they're going to use one of these guys, Procise or McKissick. Most likely Procise if and when he's healthy. But if he's out, I mean, I really like the way McKissick looked.
Russell Wilson
it was
has to
crazy.
Have a lot of say in this, and it seemed like him and McKissick just connected immediately.
The speed on this guy was ridiculous.
Did you watch this?
I did not.
I hate you, man. I have to watch your Cowboys play.
Well, you know what? I saw pieces of it.
Oh, okay.
If it's any, well, I did see this.
Oh, at the end. Yeah.
I saw towards the end. I think I saw because we got back from golf. I saw the third quarter and then the end.
I see.
So I did see the tie, and then Chrissy and I started doing some stuff.
I got you.
Who was it?
She is 7 months pregnant, sir.
Hey,
For good reason.
You can't get more pregnant.
That's true. That's true. Anyway.
Turn off the light
Oh,
and light a candle.
yeah. She's gonna be listening to this and rolling her eyes like, what the heck? Anyway, I came back and I
Play some
watched
golf. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Okay. From now on, we know what Sunday does.
Gotcha.
Sunday?
Sunday.
What you do on Sunday? Play some golf.
I did play some golf.
The afternoon golf.
You know what? I played well.
What you did
On Saturday.
Yeah,
man.
boy. All 18 holes.
Trying to have a serious conversation, Daniel.
Good.
Jesus.
Good for you.
Anyway, I saw the third and fourth quarter.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, that's around the time. I mean, this guy looks ridiculously fast. He looked kind of tall too. He looks like
right?
he looks like Cordero Patterson running as a running back.
Except maybe just a little bit stockier. Like
It's
he looks
crazy.
Dude.
Yeah. I like him. I don't know if
too.
they'll ever give him a run, but they got to find someone to get that run game going.
Yeah.
All right. That's Chris Carson. Let's talk about Jack Doyle in concussion protocol.
I will say more often than not, when someone gets a concussion on a Sunday, they most likely miss the next game and then they're back a week later. If that happens, I would just say, because a lot of people have been using him just because he has been somewhat reliable, Brandon Williams is the guy you'd want to pick up. He's a really athletic tight end. He made some plays on Sunday. So if you're looking for help and you don't like Tyler Kroft or any of the other guys I suggested, Brandon Williams not terrible for just filling in for Jack Doyle.
All right. That's that. Marcus Mariota day-to-day with a hamstring.
Oof.
He was hurt, right? He played hurt.
It looked like he was crying.
Yeah.
But maybe he wasn't. He might have just been wiping sweat off.
Oof.
It was on that touchdown run. He pulled a hamstring to the point where he had to get an MRI.
Oh man,
So, I mean, he has a history of injuries. Like, the dude just can't.
it's terrible.
He just can't stay healthy because he's really good.
Yeah.
I'm just worried he's going to turn into an RG3 where he's just going to keep getting hurt over and over again. So, it might be better if he tries not to run around as much.
Yeah.
And kind of maybe. I think he has a skill set to be a little bit better than Alex Smith. I don't think he'll ever be like an Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
But I think he could be a little bit better than Alex Smith.
Yeah.
And that's all you need when you have, like, the weapons that they do. But anyway, the reason I put this on here is because if it's
Castle.
Matt Castle,
Yeah.
you're not starting anybody. I mean, maybe the running backs, depending on the matchup, but you saw, and that was the reason why it was such a blowout or a blowout.
Yeah, what was the score?
on Sunday.
57-16.
It was amazing.
It was crazy.
That's rough stuff.
So I would not start any of the wide receivers or tight end or Delaney Walker if Matt Castle was a starting quarterback.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think you're in a position where any of them have emerged as like a top person in their position. So
Unfortunate too, because they're going up against the Dolphins. I'm sure somebody will go off, but you can't.
You
You can't
just
say
no idea,
who.
no.
Yeah. Who is gonna like?
All right. Let's talk about these last two bits of information with the Atlanta Falcons. Julio Jones is dealing with a hip injury, and Mohamed Sanu dealing with a hamstring injury.
Oh,
Will
I
be
didn't
out
see
2
that.
to 3 weeks.
now it's not too bad because they're on bye this week.
Right.
So he's really going to only be out 1 or 2 weeks.
1 or 2 weeks.
But I just wanted to put that out there just so everyone's aware, just in case you don't get your news from anyone else but us. I wouldn't advise that, but just in case, I would just be aware because I think if Julio Jones for whatever reason misses time, like I think this bye week couldn't have came at a better time for the Falcons, but if he comes out of the bye week and is still dealing with the injury and misses any time, Sanu won't be there either. So then you're starting to look at like Justin Hardy and Taylor Gabriel and Lord knows what else.
Yeah.
So just be aware of that. The only other thing I'll say, apparently there's going to be a court decision on Zeke soon.
Yeah.
Is what they're saying.
Yeah.
If that's the case, and it's Wednesday, is that most likely when the podcast will come out? Maybe
Wednesday night ish.
Wednesday night. Okay,
yeah,
that's
we
good.
can do Wednesday night.
If you're listening to this on Wednesday or Thursday, and Darren McFadden or
Alfred Morris
are still on your waivers, and the decision hasn't been made, and you have some roster spots to burn, grab one or both of them, just in case. It looks like Alfred Morris has been the guy, and he looked really good on
Alfred
Sunday.
Morris
Yes, he did.
almost scored.
I mean,
an
you could
amazing
not get
touchdown.
any closer than that. I mean, he was right there.
Dude.
Poor guy, man.
Just kind of like ran out of gas, right? The last
He
five
ran
minutes.
out of gas.
Oh, man.
I feel so
He
bad
ran
for
out
him
of
because he
gas.
was so good in Washington. Then he gets signed by Dallas.
And he
Doesn't
gets
really
put on
get the
bench.
starting
Yeah.
shot. They give it to Darren McFadden.
Yeah.
And then they sign Zeke, and it's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why, granted, they're in division, so the Giants wouldn't call him, but still.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, if I was a Cardinals, I'd be like, what do you want for Darren McFadden? I mean, for
Alfred Morris.
Alfred Morris.
Oh, dude, he's a lead feature back for sure.
Anyway. So, yeah.
Well, we got him in the pocket.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's the news. Let's talk. Since we're going into the Week 5 games, I'm going to announce the teams on bye: the Falcons, the Saints, the Broncos, and Washington. So, that being said, let's talk about roster evaluation and how to trade. Like, there's a real art to this.
Yeah.
Art.
It really is.
Did you like that?
I mean, there are some people in leagues that will only trade if they are absolutely fleecing you.
Yes.
Yeah.
There is someone in the league that the three of us are in.
Who shall remain nameless.
Yeah. Look, my friend, Blank, if you're listening to this, I love you, man. But today, you know what I got? For, what's the Jags running back?
Leonard Fournette.
I got AJ Green, which I like. But Leonard Fournette's my number one. AJ Green and Marshawn for Leonard. Is it a fair trade? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think. But it leaves me Marshawn as my RB1.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Not right now.
Not right now.
Not going to
So,
happen.
so maybe that can be a good point to, trading is you have to really evaluate what the other team needs or doesn't need as well.
Yeah.
Just because it's a fair trade doesn't mean the other person has to go for it.
No. Yeah, so for example, in one of my leagues, I went crazy at running back. I was a keeper league, so I kept AJ Green, and then I kept Jordan Howard. So for the next few rounds, I didn't draft anybody but running backs because I had seen a habit of running back getting really thin really soon. So I don't think I had Cook in that league, but I had Kareem Hunt, Christian McCaffrey, and Carlos Hyde.
Okay.
And I already had Jordan Howard.
Oh, nice.
So if I wanted to upgrade anywhere, and then I ended up getting Stephon Diggs. So my starting lineup is solid. But if I wanted to upgrade anywhere, it'd probably be at tight end.
Okay.
Right? So I'd look for someone who needs a running back and try to get a tight end.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't want to get to someone who has like Kareem Hunt, I already have Kareem Hunt, but for example, someone who has like Le'Veon Bell and Todd Gurley and say, hey, I'm going to trade you one of my running backs for one of your running backs. Like, it doesn't make sense if it's, in my eyes, it doesn't really make sense going one for one, like running back for running back. Because usually it like if I have Kareem Hunt and Dan has Todd Gurley, I don't see a benefit from switching those players.
Yeah.
Like they both have high ceilings. If he prefers Kareem Hunt and wants to offer that to me, I have to make a decision on whether I think it's worth, the upside of Kareem Hunt. I just don't like that.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
would not.
No. I feel like it's the exact same. It's very similar players.
Yeah.
I like packaging a combination of players like you were saying. Like, okay, if I see someone let's say I'm in that same league, someone is super weak at running back and has Gronk, well, then I can pair up Kyle Rudolph and, one of these other guys, like, let's say I had Dalvin Cook,
Yeah.
and say, give me Gronk.
And see, I like the way Art does it because he evaluates what the other team needs or
Yeah.
at least a weak area.
Because
Being fair.
And not just being fair, but I always try to say, if I was in their position, would I want this trade?
Yeah, it's got to be beneficial to both
somebody,
sides.
And once again, dude, if you're listening to this, love you. But last week, somebody was really going hard for Antonio Brown, who I have in one league. But they wanted to give me, I can't even, at a certain point, he insisted so much that it was like he was trying to package 3 receivers to equal Antonio Brown. And I guess technically, on paper, points-wise, yes.
Yes.
But
it doesn't benefit your
cannot-
team.
Yeah, I can only fill one spot, and none of those guys equaled Antonio Brown. And so I had to say no, but you feel bad to say no, I guess, but it doesn't equal out.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I always look at. There's a couple things I look at. So one of the times I won a league, I think I had Aaron Rodgers And I had a tight end that was fine, but wasn't great. And so I looked at the schedule ahead, and I saw that Ben Roethlisberger had like a really good, easy second half to a season. And the guy that I was looking at had Tyler Eifert. And this was the year that Tyler Eifert was like going nuts.
I miss that guy.
So I packaged Aaron Rodgers and my tight end for Big Ben and Tyler Eifert, and he accepted it. And it's one of those things. It was a completely fair trade.
Yeah.
And that was technically a 1-for-1, but I'm improving my tight end with someone who I thought had a really good upside, and he's upgrading for a quarterback.
Yeah.
And so it's all about looking at what's ahead and going with your gut. So like, I thought this week that Joe Mixon was going to go off, like absolutely off.
He could have. He should have.
So 2 weeks ago, I traded Buck Allen, who had just had like the game of his career, straight up for Joe Mixon. And that wasn't even the first trade I proposed.
Yeah.
This guy probably is kicking himself because I first offered him because I thought Jordan Howard was done. Once I saw Tariq Cohen go off, and once I saw Jordan Howard leaving with his arm in a sling, I'm like, if someone still values him as like a number one running back, I'm going to get Joe Mixon, who I think is going to go off with the new offensive coordinator. I offered that to him, and he said no, and countered with Buck Allen. I was like, okay.
And that my friends, is the definition of selling high.
Yeah.
Yes. You sold high on Buck.
And that's the thing. Like, for anybody that has Sammy Watkins, last week was probably the week you probably should have tried to trade him.
Yep.
Now, if he has another good game before your league has a deadline, I would try to trade him again because he has a really rough schedule the rest of the way.
Yes.
And because Jared Goff's really passing it around to everybody. And most weeks it's not Sammy Watkins. But there's this idea of either selling high or buying low. So if you think if you think Jay Ajayi is going to turn things around and have a good season, there's a lot of people that you could probably buy him low off of.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want anything to do with Jay Ajayi.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people that still think it's just the whole offense is down, so that's why he's not doing well. So I would just really look at where your roster's at, look at your bye weeks, see where you need some help, and see what you can do to help another team out, but also help yourself.
I think, is it Antonio Brown who has yet to find the end zone, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
No. Is that right?
Antonio? Dude, I'm almost positive. His yards are insane.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know if anybody would sell low on Antonio, but
There's some people who that's the thing is right now.
He had a touchdown this week.
let me check.
I don't know if it was.
He has one touchdown.
At the beginning of the year, right?
No, it was yesterday. It was on Sunday.
Chicago last week.
Oh,
But
Chicago.
Chicago.
here's the other thing though is that we're getting to the point where teams have to turn things around. So like, if it's a team that's 0-4 or 1-3, they have to win out to make it to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So you can find a team that's absolutely desperate. If there's a team that Antonio Brown's their only asset, I mean, I bet you could probably offer someone who, let's say they have. It was Antonio Brown. They went running back heavy, and their next best person was like Eric Decker or someone, maybe a little bit better than Eric Decker. You could probably package like Kelvin Benjamin and Pierre Garçon as two guys that are solid. Now you have two starters that potentially could give you a high ceiling instead of just one guy who could go off or could have a couple games like he's had this season already.
I think Arthur's giving some really good advice here.
I
hope people
agree.
hear it. I really, really do.
Because I'll be honest, like I'm in a 16-team league where it's like it's tough to find another running back, and I'm in a rough spot because the only running backs I have are Isaiah Crowell, Kareem Hunt, and Rex Burkhead, who's played like 2 games.
Yeah.
Who's still, and he's getting limited practice this week, but still, I know right now that in 2 weeks, 2 of those running backs have a bye week. So it's like, what do I do? If I was really crazy, I could say, okay, I have Kareem Hunt.
Yeah.
Let me find someone who has Carlos Hyde and another running back and offer him that trade so I have 2 running backs. But I'm not going to do that. But I could if I was that desperate.
It's a really strong selling point I found over the past couple of years is in one league I'm really stacked at running back too.
Yeah.
And so this past week I was trying to get Devontae Parker because I didn't have a wide receiver too. And so I said, look, that's fine. If you don't want who was it? The Broncos running back. If you don't want
C.J. Anderson?
If you don't want C.J. Anderson, fine. He's just going to be on my bench. He's probably going to score a whole bunch of points. That's okay with me. Like, if that's okay with you, that's okay with me. And sure enough, like, soon afterwards, trade offer. And she won. She won that week with C. Jetson. And
That's
I won
called
with
finagling.
Hey, you
the
gotta
price.
Try. You got to try.
That's called finagling the price.
So if you're 0-4, if you're 1-3, I think it's a perfect time. Try to get waivers. Like I said, I have the you won't be hearing this in time to look at the waiver wire, but once waivers have passed, really try to see if you can pull off a trade in your league before the Thursday night game.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
All right, let's get into it. Let's talk about
Oprah's game of the week.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Let's talk about that Thursday night game. No, you do it. Do it again.
Oprah's game of the. I just call it Oprah because you guys always say that. You get a touchdown. You get a touchdown. I'm just trying to go off of you guys.
No, I like it.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh.
I know, I get it now that you said it, but you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown. But before, I was like, I don't know. Is this a joke that I missed out on?
I'm just trying to I was trying to.
He's livening the mood. I got it.
Thanks, man.
I got you, buddy.
I'll just keep it to myself next time.
Let's talk about Oprah's game of the week. Thursday night. I'm excited about this game. Patriots at Buccaneers. I like the Patriots coming back. I don't know. We'll see. You two are like.
I'll say this. If the Buccaneers get 3 of their players back, which, I mean, they're not like shabby players. It's like they're starting safety, they're starting linebacker, and I forgot who the third defensive player is. But if they get all 3 of those guys back, it's going to be close. Because right now, you could argue the Patriots have the worst defense in the entire league.
That's what I was about to say.
Worst.
The Patriots defense is what kept them out of that game. That's why they lost.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Cam had looked like absolute trash the first 3 games of the season.
All of a sudden,
they have now become the Saints.
Bunches of bunches done catching balls.
Yeah.
I was like, where was this team last week?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Right?
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I do not know if the Patriots are going to bounce back on this one.
And see, you have to, because of that recency bias. If Cam Newton did it, why can't Jameis Winston?
Well, that's true.
It's my thinking.
I love Jameis Winston this week.
Dude.
I mean, every quarterback that has gone against them has just gone absolutely bonkers.
Insane.
But
But it's hard to bet against Tom Brady. Like
And they're playing
it doesn't feel good.
in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
it's like betting against Michael Jordan.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
It's like betting against Michael Jordan. It's like this is 1998. I'm sitting watching the Utah Jazz, who on paper are better than the Chicago Bulls, and I'm betting against Michael Jordan. And I don't want to do that.
Against quarterbacks, the Patriots defense dead last. Dead last.
That game was just a trailer trash of a.
It was bad.
It was awful.
So, I mean, in this week, I love all the Buccaneers. Everybody.
Deshaun Jackson.
But I will say the running back situation could be a little cloudy because I don't think they're just going to get Doug Martin, and just give him all the carries. I think they'll still split it for this first week, especially because I think he just got back on Monday, so he's going to get 2 days of practice. So I would temper your expectations with him. But aside from that, if the Buccaneers are still missing those players, then you're starting all your Patriots. Too. I mean, it's always a crapshoot because
you never know who he's going to choose.
Not just that. Mike Gillislee did awesome that first game because he got all the end zone, the goal line touches, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And because they were using him to drain the clock in certain points in the second game. But now, because their defense is so bad, they're never trying to drain the clock. They're always trying to play catch up. And so if that's the case, he has no value as a receiver. And so at this point, they're using him a little bit. They're using James White a little bit. There's no
last one guy.
Last year, it was okay, this is a
who's that other guy?
LeGarrette Blount week, or it's
Lewis got the
a
touchdown last week.
It's just crazy. You don't know who to start.
Who's that other guy? Hogan.
Chris Hogan.
Chris Hogan. Yeah.
I'm so glad I reached up in drafts for him because he's been the most consistent wide receiver on the team.
Been the Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
In the end zone. Everything.
So I like everybody in this game.
Yeah, me too.
Everyone.
Dude, everybody.
All around.
Except for the Patriots running backs, because I don't know what the hell's going to happen. If I had to pick one for this week, it'd be James White.
Me too.
I know Rex Burkhead is getting in limited practices, but if they're smart, they hold him out one more week. But they're also 2-2, so they don't want to fall too far behind, especially because with the Bills, that defense,
Bills
defense
for real.
Wow.
But yeah,
I might be emotional about it. I think in daily fantasy, I'm gonna roll out with Doug Martin. Just roll the dice, see what happens.
All right.
I just love that guy, man.
Okay.
Love that guy.
I
sounds-
did one of those DraftKings Monday, Thursday night,
Oh yeah.
and I picked everybody solid except Rob Kelly. I got Kareem Hunt, Terrell Pryor, Travis Kelce, Chiefs defense. That last touchdown,
Jeez.
whew. I need some folks to go off on Thursday night.
All right.
I
Anyway.
put Dodson in mine. I just about cried when he missed that, man.
That catch.
That was just 1 point.
He looks so good. I can see why the Bengals wanted him.
Yep.
No.
Anyways,
All right. That being said, who you guys got? Daniel James.
if I have to call it right now, I'm going with the Buccaneers.
All right.
Thomas Brady. I'm going with Tom Brady.
Tomas.
I have to. In my head, I'm thinking he knows he cannot lose this game. It's not gonna happen. Can't happen.
Okay, so I'm going to make a little confession here. If the Dallas Cowboys aren't playing, I like the Patriots.
God, started.
If the Dallas Cowboys are not playing, like in the season, like in the end, I generally go for the Patriots.
It's like
What?
Two teams I
Yeah,
hate.
I know it's awful.
disgusting.
It is disgusting. I'm sorry, but I like the Patriots, and since 2000, I've liked the Patriots. Actually, since '97, when Bill Parcells was their head coach,
I don't want to do this podcast anymore.
I quit.
I quit.
and
Actually-
I liked Drew Bledsoe back in the day
You
too.
want to do a podcast?
Yeah, you just with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can just talk about things we like. Good things in the world.
Yeah.
Good people.
Dart. Daniel and Art. Dart. The Dart
I
podcast.
like it. Dart. Da-da-da, dart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Sounds good.
Or the Farther. Farther.
It sounds like a
Darther.
fart.
Darther?
That sounds like farting.
Darther.
Farther.
That sounds awful.
Where'd you
All
get
of you
that
guys
Because
suck.
I heard fart.
That being said, I'm going with the Patriots. Okay, thanks. Bye. That's the Thursday night game. I hate you both. I hate you both. I hate you both.
We're not the ones rooting for the biggest cheaters in NFL history.
You know what? I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
Cool. Sounds like you care, but go. Yeah.
¿Sabes qué, bro? Let's talk about the Sunday early games. Let's talk about 49ers at the Colts. Guys, how do you
That's
feel
a rough
about this
game.
game? This is a rough game, right?
I like. Now, this is another one where I'd look to see who's starting on the 49ers because if Reuben Foster's back, that is a much meaner defense.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, I like. Actually, you know who I really like? Jacoby Brissett in this game.
All right.
I could see him having a nice game. Obviously, last week was against the Seahawks, but he's not playing the Seahawks this time around.
Yeah.
I like Jacoby Brissett. I like Moncrief and Hilton because the 49ers have like the worst cornerbacks in the league. And I like Carlos Hyde. And so, sleeper already. So I put some sleepers out here, but I'm going to add one. And actually, because no one else is seeing this except for the three of us, I'm going to change this on my doctor's orders. Okay. But Pierre Garçon's going to get some Vontae Davis. Vontae Davis
yes.
is no joke.
Yeah.
Marquise Goodwin's dealing with a concussion. So they're going to have Trent Taylor out there. But the other guy out there who is a speedy guy now with Marquise Goodwin gone, Aldrick Robinson.
Oh, I remember him. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I like him a lot.
Are we going to write that down somewhere? I'm writing it down?
I already wrote it down.
Oh, you wrote okay.
He wrote it down. He's got
Look
it.
at it.
He's
Aldrick
got it.
Robinson. I like it.
All right. So, 49ers Colts, who do we got?
49ers get their first win?
Ooh, what's you going to call?
No, hell no. I'm going for the Colts. I don't think so, man. I don't know.
This is a tough game.
I know about that.
It's tough.
You know what? It's going to be a good game. Maybe
I
a
think
low
it'll be a
scoring
good game,
game.
yeah,
but it'll be a
maybe.
good game.
Okay.
But I'm going with the Colts.
I don't know. I think you kind of won me over with that.
First, no.
No, they're missing Marquise Goodwin. Carlos Hyde's not
Like,
healthy.
if-
They're already
if-
talking about a quarterback change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll go with the Colts.
If Marquise Goodwin were in there, I'd say maybe the 49ers. Maybe. But. All right.
Yeah.
All right. That's game one. Game two, Jets at the Browns. Guys, who is surprised with the Jets play?
I am.
I am absolutely
I mean,
surprised with the Jets play.
You know who's probably upset? The fans. They were all about let's suck this year.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Sam Darnold, whoever the hell the first, because Sam Darnold's kind of falling out of favor too. But
Yeah.
let's get a top quarterback, and we're gonna be good to go. And now what? They're 2-2.
They're
2 and
2-2.
I mean, and they don't look bad.
No. And they're playing the Browns.
And they're walking. And so it's. I think they have the Browns. Mm-hmm. Then they go at the Patriots, who aren't necessarily a hard defense anymore.
Oh.
Right.
And then they have the Dolphins. There is a small possibility
They could
they're
be-
5-2.
Yeah. And they could be second
in the division.
Second in the division.
Stop it.
I know. Isn't that crazy?
Yes.
I mean, when you think about it, so I mean, we all knew Josh McCown wasn't a terrible quarterback. He just was always hurt.
Yeah.
And Jermaine Kearse has emerged as a pretty solid wide receiver one.
Yeah.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins didn't have the blow-up game that I wanted, but he is looking solid. Mm-hmm. And now that old-ass Forte's gone, Powell McGuire looked like a 1-2 punch out of hell, man.
Man. We told you last week.
Arthur
told you. He did.
I had Powell.
And I have a drop for this. Are you ready? Can we congratulate? I mean, look, if you listen to Arthur, that's just.
That's
if
nice.
We could
That's
just,
nice.
just slow clap.
Hey, good for you. Yes. Did you win some money? Thank you, Arthur.
Thank you, Arthur.
Dr.
I like
Gita?
it. I like it.
Dr. Gita.
Oh, it gets more.
It's more.
Did you hear that?
I bet that's what was going on in his brain when he was at Peter Piper.
Yeah. Woo. Thousands of dollars.
On the table.
All right, that's enough.
That's it.
Don't let that get to my head.
That's all right, okay.
But if you didn't have Powell in your lineups, you were screwed probably, unless you had like, if you had you had to have one of Zeke Elliott, Todd Gurley, or Bilal Powell, two of them.
And you definitely had to have Deshaun Watson as
Oh
quarterback.
yeah. But I love the way that Powell and McGuire are running. They look solid, and it's a decent matchup because the Browns they're not doing anything particularly well. There's already talk that Hugh Jackson could get fired, even though they're like on this. I mean, they're set up. I mean, the thing with them is that the big mistake they made is they didn't pay for any real free agents except for Jamie Collins, and on defense they could have used a little bit more help. But anyway, I like Powell, especially because Forte's probably still going to be out. Mm-hmm. If you're desperate, I could say McGuire could be used in the flex, especially because if they get a big in this game, because they have a pretty stout. I mean, they're kind of like middle of the pack defense, but if they get a big, they're not going to risk Powell getting hurt. So McGuire could get a big run. I like Jermaine Kearse.
Yes.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins is like my tight end start of the week. I mean, you start everybody. You start your tight ends against the Browns.
The chances of him going off are greater than not.
Yeah.
And if he does,
I told everybody, and I felt like I was alone on an island because I even heard one of these fantasy podcasts that's specifically about daily fantasy who said, should we talk about Tyler Kroft against the Browns? And they all laughed and said, no, we're not going to do that. I was like, I am going to do that, and that's what helped me win some money.
he done did it.
You start your tight end against the Browns. So I love how you start your tight ends against the Browns. On the Browns side of the ball, I don't know what the hell they're doing. If I had to choose anybody from that team to start, it'd be Rashard Higgins, and that would be it.
I thought you were going to say Duke Johnson Jr.
He's getting, you know what, you're right. I'm totally forgetting about him.
I mean,
in PPR leagues,
yes.
you could start Duke Johnson.
yeah.
That's it.
He's doing okay.
Yep.
All right, we're done with this. Who you
Yes.
guys got?
I mean-
Who you guys got?
Yeah, I'm getting the Jets. The Browns haven't shown me anything.
Nothing's guaranteed anymore, though. You know, once you think you got it down,
Yeah, then
stupid Browns win.
Yeah, the Browns win. Well,
But I'm picking the Jets.
I'm picking the Jets too. All right. Conventional wisdom. Here at Living in Fiction, guys. Let's talk about the next game. The Jaguars at the Steelers.
Yes. Yes, sir.
This is a very interesting game because Le'Veon Bell finally got going last week. He went
Yes, he did.
But it's also interesting because you could argue the Steelers have the best wide receiver duo in the league.
Yes.
They haven't been performing like you would think, but that's mostly on Ben. He has not
Because
looked good.
There's a special reason why
What's the special reason why?
he wasn't playing at home.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even his one game, he's only had one game at home, right?
That was probably the big one. Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But even in that game, his was a little bit like not everybody in the offense was doing well. Like it was either Martavius Bryant or Antonio Brown. It wasn't both. And in previous years, it was both. But in this matchup, I mean, the cornerbacks for the Jaguars haven't allowed a wide receiver to go over 67 yards in any game this season. That's just absurd.
Yeah.
So, that said, as good as they normally play at home, I would temper your expectations with Bryant and Brown. I love Le'Veon Bell this week because you saw what Powell and McGuire did against the Jaguars. I mean, Bell is probably the start of the week in daily.
Oh, dude. Absolutely.
The Jaguars, I mean, Fournette right now is probably the only person you're really starting with any kind of confidence at this point. But that's pretty much it out of this game.
What about, because as you're talking about the corners, I mean, can you see little Jesse James going off maybe?
Maybe, but I thought the same with Austin Seferian Jenkins. Now, granted, Ben Roethlisberger is much better than Josh McCown.
Yeah.
So the only other reason why I'm a little bit hesitant is because he has been splitting work with Vance McDonald.
Oh, okay.
But I think you're right, when they get in close, they always have Jesse James out there because he's like 6'7".
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I would say between how bad tight ends have been, inconsistent, the injuries that have been going on, and with bye weeks, you're right. I think Jesse James could fill in for just this 1 week.
Somebody's got to catch all those passes that Big Ben throws at home.
Yeah.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody. All right, guys.
Yep.
That being said, who you guys got?
I mean, it feels like I should be more confident in the Steelers, but they haven't looked great. But, I mean, Bell is just going to run everywhere, so I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Me too, man. I love the Steelers this week.
I like the
What
Steelers
did you
this
do?
week. I really do like the Steelers this week.
I liked them last week too, and somebody done picked against them. Who was it? Who picked the
Who
Ravens?
picked the Ravens?
I think it was me.
it was you.
You're so dumb. You are really, really dumb.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I did not like him.
You are really, really dumb.
Whatever, man.
All right, let's move on. The Chargers at the Giants. The Giants.
Who's going to get their first win of the season?
You guys gonna go over
man.
some statistics with you? Statistics?
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, some math. Okay. There's a 100% chance one of these teams is going to get their first win this week. And to see some more math, there is a 50% chance it might be the Giants.
I love those odds.
Am I going to get slow cap?
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, here we go.
Hold on.
There we go. There it is. Math. Simple math.
You need to find like a golf clap for that one.
I really do. Dude, I'm so excited for this game.
It's going to be
I'm
good.
so excited.
In this game, I mean, it's been tough to figure out which tight end the Chargers are really focusing in on. Like, 2 out of the 4 games, Henry has looked like the man.
Yeah.
And those other 2 games have been literal zeros.
Yes.
So it's a good matchup against the Giants because they've been giving up a ton of points to tight ends, but you just don't know. If I had to start one, it would be Hunter Henry.
Yeah.
You saw what Janoris Jenkins can do against another opposing wide receiver. I think he'll be on Keenan Allen. Now, granted, Keenan Allen is still one of my favorite players to watch. It's absurd how good he runs his routes. I mean, he's fantastic. He's great against man coverage. So you're still starting him. But if he's going to see Janoris Jenkins, that leaves a lot of opportunities for Tyrell Williams. So I like him a lot. On the Giants side of the ball, Odell Beckham should see Casey Hayward, which is a rough matchup. But it's Odell Beckham. You're starting him.
Yeah.
Outside of him, I like Sterling Shepard. I like, obviously, of course, you're starting Melvin Gordon. And then, if I'm the Giants, I don't know how you go back to anybody except for Wayne Gallman.
Yeah. Dude.
He's the only person who ran with any kind of consistency.
Yeah.
He's not anything special, but he was getting exactly what was blocked. And he ended last week with a touchdown.
Almost 4 yards per carry.
I mean, it's not great, but it's way better than what anyone else has been doing.
Yeah.
So I like Wayne Gallman.
Just keep it going. I mean, because realistically, you're out.
Yeah.
Right? And you're looking for your first win, possibly looking towards next year, like you said.
You got to find out what you got in the kid.
Yeah.
Because I think all their running backs, except for maybe Paul Perkins, and Wayne Gallman are like up for their contracts are up.
They're all a little banged up too.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know if Orleans Dark will even be out there. Paul Perkins got hurt in the game.
Yeah.
So it's Shane Vereen and
Gallman. Yeah.
So I like Gallman. And Evan Ingram's been very consistent. He's not particularly special in terms of like how the touchdowns he's getting, but if you're looking for like 4 for 50 and you're in a PPR league and you just need 8 to 9 points from your tight end, he's always a good start.
So I'm going to ask a crazy question. Just a crazy hypothetical, just to see what you guys think.
I like crazy. I like it.
It's insane. But
give it to me straight.
Switch out. Let's say something happens, and you switch out Eli Manning, and you put Colin Kaepernick there. How good does that team look?
Oof.
With the mobile quarterback, man.
I mean,
jeez,
it's like a night and day thing, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, I will say the last 2 weeks with them, not even the last full 2 weeks, the last week and a half in terms of their games, so the last game and a half, when they get into their quick pace offense, he looks a lot better because he's getting the ball out quicker and he's not trying to throw the deep ball.
Right.
But still.
I think it's time for Eli Manning to start doing some nationwide is on your side.
I mean, they're on track to be up there again to get one of the best quarterbacks in the draft next year. I mean, they're 0-4.
Giants need a new QB.
I want to feel it from right here, from your heart.
Right.
From your heart.
That's what it was. Yeah. Again.
Again.
Giants need a new QB.
That being said, guys,
who gets their first win?
Who gets their first win?
Who do you got?
I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Let's all three pick different teams.
There's only
2 teams.
I know.
Who do you got?
I thought it'd be fun.
Who do you got?
Look. I got to go with my Eli. Got to go with my boy. Just for once, Eli, just give it to me, man. A win.
I don't trust Eli Manning. I think he's gonna start. He's gonna start doing those nationwide commercials. I am going with the Chargers.
Dude, the only reason why I want Eli to win is because I want to see Phillip Rivers rip off his helmet again and yell at his coach.
He gets mad when he loses.
Has some anger issues.
Well, that means he's passionate.
He's passionate. He's passionate. He cares about the game. Yeah.
So, hey Dan, I got a question for you, man. Do you want to talk about the next game? Because I don't know if I want to talk about the next game. Do you want to talk about the next game?
I never talk about ignoring.
How do you feel?
They got their one win of the year.
Hey, why don't we?
They did get the one win of the year.
Why don't we only talk about the teams that won on Sunday? We'll talk about my team, and then we'll talk about Dan's team a little bit later. Fernie, you can just sit the next one out.
And then post bye-byes.
¿Sabes qué, bro? You know what's going to happen? Let's talk about this game. Let's talk about the Bills and the Bengals.
The number one, first place Bills.
It's crazy.
We didn't even see this coming.
I did. I picked the Bills last week.
No, I'm talking about
that's right.
Bills
Yes, we
being
did.
at the top. Yeah, you did, but Bills being at the top of the division.
That I didn't see.
Wow.
I just meant last week.
Okay. No, yeah, we I think all 3 of us picked the Bills. Didn't
No,
we?
sir, you did not.
I did not.
No, of course you did.
No, that's right. Who did I? Yeah, that's right.
Falcons.
I went with the Falcons.
You're something else.
You know what? Whatever, bro.
Anyway,
You and I still tied, so whatever.
You are one pathetic loser.
I forgot, man. It's been a long weekend.
okay. You're starting AJ Green.
Yes.
I even like Tyler Kroft. I've been saying he is a very athletic tight end. One of those touchdown catches he made this past Sunday, I haven't even seen Tyler Eifert make a catch like that.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
He looked good.
I like him. That's it. Maybe if you're in PPR, I like Giovanni Bernard. But
Okay.
that's it. I still don't trust Joe Mixon because their run game is absolutely awful. On the Bill side of the ball, it's LaShawn McCoy.
Yes.
Jordan Matthews is out for like 4 weeks, I think is what they said.
Yes.
I forgot to put that in the news.
Yeah, that's right.
Charles Clay.
My man, Charles
Yeah.
Clay.
That's
Charles
it.
Clay.
Yep.
Because they have Zay Jones. I think they have Andre Holmes is behind him. I don't know who else is behind him. I literally could not tell you.
No, I don't know. They just picked somebody up, too. I read in the news. Let me see who it is. Oh, he's probably not even up here. Buffalo. You know what? I might have been a week early on Ty God.
Oh yeah.
I think he might have himself a little game.
Yeah, I could definitely see that again. Well, I'm just saying, I know it was the Browns, but the Bengals defense, now with Vontaze Burfict back, is much scarier. And this week they gave more snaps to their rookie from last year, William Jackson, over Pac-Man Jones, which is crazy because they don't normally do that.
Wow.
So I have a couple of questions to ask of Arthur.
Oh, wait, sorry. Brandon Tate and Corey Brown, which, that's
right. Phil Brown.
garbage.
That's right. They just signed him.
So ask me.
So a couple questions about this Bengals team. At what point do you say this isn't about talent on this team? Because on paper, they're really good.
Yeah.
On paper, they're really good, and we said it all season. At what point do you say this is coaching? This is the QB position.
2 years ago. No, I'm being dead. So 2 years ago, I wouldn't have said that about Andy Dalton because he had like an MVP type season,
Right.
And then he broke his thumb and he missed a few weeks, and that was that whole crazy playoff loss where Vontaze Burfict intercepted and ran out of the stadium like they were going to win the game, and then Jeremy Hill fumbled and all that. That whole thing that happened and all the flagrant personal fouls that happened that led them to them losing.
Yes.
That's all coaching.
That is coaching.
If I was the owner, I would have fired Marvin Lewis that day. And then because all of that stuff happened where Burfict hit someone like with a personal foul, and then Adam Jones pushed a coach and got a personal foul. All of that happened at the end of the game in the locker room. It came out that out of all of those things happening, Marvin Lewis forced Jeremy Hill to apologize to the whole team for fumbling.
Wow.
And it's like, out of everything that happened, that's what you chose to have someone apologize for. When these guys cost 30 yards for an easy chip shot field goal. He's been a terrible. I mean, he got them to. I mean, they were really bad before he got there. Mm-hmm. But he basically hit his plateau 3 years ago, and they did really well 2 years ago, and then that was it. That should have been the end of his career there with the Bengals. And with Andy Dalton, that might have been his peak year, and he just missed out when he broke his thumb, because last year he looked bad, and this year there are some things that the line is not doing him any favors.
Right.
But there are some throws that are just really, really bad. And he's not trying to call any audibles out of any plays. There's some plays where I think even Tony Romo called him out last week.
Right.
Where it was a stacked box, like anybody could see it, and it was a run play, and he didn't audible out of it. And it's like, what do you expect's going to happen? Like, you can't be happy just losing yardage. Like, you know this, they know what you're going to run, and you know what they're going to do. So why would you not call a different play? So I personally, like, there's a good chance, and I kind of joked around with you all, but there's a good chance that last week they won one of their only two games, and I think the Browns might be the only other game they'll win.
Wow.
And part of me wishes, like, hopes for that, because then you bring in someone brand new.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of people that are saying if the Browns keep losing and Hugh Jackson gets fired and then Marvin Lewis gets fired, that they'll just bring in Hugh Jackson. There's positives and there's positives and negatives for that. Mm-hmm. I'd rather get someone completely different.
Do what the Rams did.
Yeah, I would have loved to have gotten Sean McVay.
Can you imagine?
I like Jim Bob Cooter from the Lions.
Lions, yeah.
Get him and then get someone like Sam Darnold or one of those other really good quarterbacks. Then you start brand new with a really young team.
Yeah.
You know, use the rest of your picks on offensive linemen.
You still have it. AJ Green is young.
I think he just turned 30.
Still young, yeah.
There are weapons on this team that, and then you seriously watch this team and you scratch your head.
Yeah.
So I think if they were to, I think they'll let Tyler Eifert walk in free agency because he's just not.
Unfortunately,
he's just not. He doesn't stay healthy enough. And Tyler Kroft is showing that he's something special. So in terms of that team, I think if they were to tank and end up firing the coach, getting a new head coach, getting a quarterback in the first round, spending a couple more picks on the line, and or getting some in free agency, finding someone who's willing to spend money in free agency, because that's the other mistake they made. I mean, I mentioned it last week. Like, Solomon Thomas is one of the best defensive tackles in the league, and he just got drafted this past year. He was like the third overall pick for the 49ers. And he was just wrecking people. When they played the Seahawks, there was times where Russell Wilson would hand it off, the guy would cut to the right, and this guy was already there tackling him. And the Rams played the Rams played the 49ers, and I see Andrew Whitworth, who was a former left tackle for the Bengals, who's already older. He's like 32. And he is just standing this dude up. Like, the guy is trying to push, and he is just holding him.
Jeez.
And they let him leave, and they let Kevin Zeitler leave, and they had the money to pay him, and they just decided not to do it.
Wow.
So,
what?
just go ahead.
Oh, no.
No, I was just going to say, I just think it's worn old for a lot of the fans. Like, I follow a lot of the beat writers, and a lot of them are on the same page.
Yeah.
Mike Brown is pretty much stuck in his ways in more ways than one, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because one thing that me and my buddy Jason, who's the guy who got me into the Bengals and made me a fan, 2 weekends ago when everyone made their anthem protests, or their protests during the anthem, I should say, that same day a lot of teams released their statements, their official statements.
Yeah.
Well, the Bengals statement was one that was recognized by Breitbart, which is the way that we should go. So that'll tell you a lot about Mike Brown.
That's awesome.
So a lot of people, I mean, as sad as it sounds, people were saying like, okay, average age for an old man to live is about 69. You're 74. How much time you got? They're like,
How much you got left?
because I mean, his I don't know if it's his daughter. I think it's his daughter or daughter-in-law. She is much more forward thinking, and I think whenever she takes over, things will really change for the better.
Right.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
That all
right.
being said,
That all being said, and I just wanted to, because I really do look at this team and go, what is
and
it?
honestly, their defense is really good. That's
Yeah,
the only
it
thing.
is.
I think that'll be the only thing that keeps them in this game.
Yeah. Slightly.
Slightly.
Don't ask him any more of those questions, and I'm going to tell you why. Because he's so damn smart. If any of those NFL people are listening to this, they're going to just steal him right from us. He's going to dump us quick. He'll be gone.
You don't think he'll take us with him?
Dude, he won't even say bye. He'll be gone.
He'll be gone.
Deuces.
Don't ask him any more of that crap.
All right. Who do you
Because
guys
he's so
got?
smart. Because he's so damn
he's so
smart.
smart.
I mean, come
Yeah.
on.
Who do you guys got?
Who do you got, Arthur?
Arthur?
I'll tell you who Julian's got.
Go Bengals.
Yeah. All right, that won me over. I was going to pick the Bills, but now he's got me all pumped up. Taking the Bengals.
Yeah, me too. I'm taking the Bills.
That leaves me with the Bills.
All right.
Tyrod Taylor. 30 fantasy football points.
30.
I think between their defense and them playing at home, that's the only reason why I'm picking the Bengals.
All right, let's move on to the next game. I'm actually kind of excited to see
Me
this
too.
game.
Yeah.
Panthers versus the Lions. What
Lions
you
have been
got?
like one of the, I think they might be the top scoring defense in fantasy football right now.
Jeez.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, granted, they've played some decent people too,
Let's see. Yeah.
right? They got double digits in every single week, right?
I don't know. I don't know how to check a whole team.
What do you mean?
I'm checking like players, but I don't know how to check like
Oh, I was just saying like how many points they scored every week in fantasy.
which one.
The Lions.
Like all of them?
Their defense, the Lions'
oh,
defense.
I was like trying to do the math real quick. Matthew Stafford, Golden Tate, Mary do it. I can't do it that fast.
If you could have seen this exchange, the looks that these two were giving each other was like, what are you talking about? And Dan, I saw like the panic come to his face, like,
Dude, I'm sweating.
I can't do math that fast. I can't do math that
They
fast.
are. The Lions are the highest ranked. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
Highest scoring. Yes, definitely double digit. 10 points is the lowest number of.
I think between Ziggy Ansah, Darius Slay,
Yeah.
and then Diggs, he's the other cornerback that they have. They've been really opportunistic, if nothing else.
A touchdown in every week except for last week. But I mean, against the Panthers, I think it's safe to say.
Because the Lions will definitely put more pressure on Cam than the Patriots did. Because the Patriots are literally getting no pressure on anybody.
Yeah.
They're playing at home. Now, maybe this was a get-right game for Cam, but I think it was more about the matchup he had against the Patriots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come on, Fernie.
It's so loud.
I was trying to do it like over here in the corner.
Anyway, but in terms of matchups, I like all the Lions receivers.
Yeah.
I don't think Kenny Galladay played last week, so
No.
But I like Marvin Jones. I like Golden Tate. I don't like Eric Ebron as much. I like Amir Abdullah. They've been giving him more run. But he
Yeah.
had 96 yards and a touchdown last week, something like that.
Dude, he was a high scorer.
Yeah.
It was,
How do you feel about Matthew Stafford?
I like him this week.
Yeah.
I don't know if I love Cam, but I like his receiving options because I could see Cam throwing a few interceptions this game.
Yeah.
So I like Devin Funchess because he's the one that's been. He might even be out snapping Kelvin Benjamin because Benjamin's not healthy, so they're trying to limit him. I don't know. I have a feeling this is a big Christian McCaffrey game.
I hope so, man. There were some high hopes for him, and he hasn't really.
Hasn't lived up to him.
Yeah.
So
They've got it. They got to use him.
they got to.
Come on. He's a talented kid.
All of that being said, who do you guys got?
This is a toss-up, man.
Nah, I'm going with the Lions.
Who do you got? You picked before me. I don't know. I want to see it.
I don't know.
Same record. They're both 3-1.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go with the defense. I won't go with the Lions.
I'll pick Cam just to
make it interesting.
Yeah. Just to rattle it a little bit.
Okay.
Well,
Whatever
you're
that
going to
means.
lose, so whatever. All right, final. The early games on Sunday. The Titans at the Dolphins. Guys, who is surprised about this Dolphins team?
It's nuts. I don't know what the hell's going on.
What is going on down there?
I bet you, but I think I heard, I was listening to Around the NFL, and these guys are like, I mean, there's got to be a small part of Jay Cutler who's like looking up at the broadcast booth. It's like, hey, man, what the hell was I thinking?
I could have been sitting down, air conditioned.
Not doing
Oh, Jay, man. Have you seen that video? My brother was showing me that video of that Wildcat snap where he's just like, he's
dude,
standing straight up, hands on the
It
waist.
could not be any more clear that he was not doing anything on that play.
The defender almost even like was so skeptical of it. He's like, do I back away? I can't tell. He's tricking me right now.
Is he about to speed off on me? He did
watch that.
not
It's
care
so funny.
at all.
I didn't see it. I missed that.
But in terms of matchup, the Titans are really bad at cornerback. So if there was a get-right game for the Dolphins playing at home, coming off of 2 embarrassing games, and playing against a team most likely without Marcus Mariota, I have a funny feeling it's a big Dolphins game.
Me too.
If you're crazy enough, like on DraftKings, I'd start Jay Cutler. Start him and pair him up with Devontae Parker. I love it.
I like it.
I think. I mean, all their receiving options, Parker, Stills, Landry. I think they could all make for really good starts. On the Titans, with Mariota out, I'm not starting anyone except for DeMarco Murray, and even then, I mean, if there's no real threat in the passing game, he won't have very much success.
How do you feel about the Dolphins' defense? Is that just like
Oh yeah,
shot in the dark? Oh, okay.
if Mariota's out, definitely starting that Dolphins defense. Castle sucks.
Yeah. Guys,
Yeah.
how do you guys feel about this game?
Sold-
I'll go
sold
first.
me. Sold.
I'll go first.
You go first.
I'll go first. I'm going to go for the Dolphins contingent on whether or not Marcus Mariota plays.
No. We have to submit. We're going to press that blue button.
You can't triple stamp
Submit.
a double stamp.
Yeah, catch up with. No.
He did it a couple of weeks ago.
That's true, but that was before we were picking.
That's true. But I'm gonna pick the Dolphins here.
Oh,
But I'm gonna pick the Dolphins here. But I'm gonna go on record and say that
You're going on record for nobody because nobody listened to this.
I'm going on record for the two of you, you bastards. I'm going on record because I think that if Marcus Mariota plays, the Dolphins have no choice, no chance.
Okay.
But
No, I'm going to go with the Dolphins no matter what. Because even if they get Mariota, it's going to be a gimpy one.
a
Did
gimpy
you
Mariota.
see what that rookie quarterback did to the? Oh my god. Yeah, that defense is bad.
And they spent a first-round draft pick on Adoree Jackson at cornerback, and he is not good. Now, he has a lot of potential, but still, he looks bad.
Love Devontae Parker this week. I can't get over him.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Who you got?
Dolphins.
Dolphins. All three of us got the Dolphins. Okay, sorry, I thought this was the final game. It wasn't. This is the final game that I'm going to talk about next because I was scrolling and I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry, guys.
Christmas game.
Yeah. So we're going to
Christmas.
talk about,
Red and green, buddy.
yeah, it's a Christmas game.
I like it.
The colors. Cardinals at the Eagles.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't want to watch this game because I have a really, really bad feeling this is the game Carson.
Dies.
Yeah, this is it.
Which one? Carson Palmer?
Carson Palmer.
Palmer?
Man, I don't think that team cares about him. Like, Dude, they don't care about him.
And the Dolphins front seven is rough.
The Dolphins?
Sorry, the Eagles front seven.
Oh, man. I don't want to watch.
I don't want to look.
Oh.
It's like a bad car accident.
Dude, there was a certain time he got sacked, and there was like it wasn't a high-low tackle, but it was just like a defender was right underneath Carson, got tackled from the top. I just thought, that's it. Oh, that's it.
They're going to break him in half.
Yep. So I am weary of Alshon Jeffrey because he's going to get Patrick Peterson.
Yeah.
That said, I like Zach Ertz a lot because of that. I also like Torrey Smith because of that.
Yeah.
Nelson Aguilar's been all over the place, but he's not a terrible start given that Jeffrey's going to have Patrick Peterson. On the Cardinal side of the ball, everybody. Because Jalen Mills is the guy from the Eagles that I thought his name was Patty Mills, but I think it might be a cartoon character.
No, Patty Mills is a San Antonio Spurs player.
That's who it is.
I was wondering, doesn't sound right, but I didn't want to say
I knew
anything.
the name. I knew the name. I heard it.
Patty Mills plays for the San Antonio Spurs.
Why is his name Patty?
Patrick. They call him Patty.
Oh.
That'd be the last thing I want people to call me is Patty.
Patty
Mills. Well, he's Australian. That's why.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, Jalen Mills is a guy that's been absolutely beat to death by quarterbacks because he's so bad. So Fitz, Jaron Brown, because he's the one that's been getting more of the
Jaron Brown.
the snaps.
Yep.
Because I think both J.J. Nelson and John Brown are both still a little bit injured.
8 receptions on Monday.
I'm telling you.
8. 100 yards.
And I like Andre Ellington.
Me too.
They keep using Chris Johnson, his old ass. But Ellington looks good.
He looks awesome.
I mean, they would not have won that game without him. That final drive to get the touchdown, Ellington got them down there.
Dude, he looks good.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I'm a week late on him. He's like in none of my waiver wires.
Yeah.
But I like him.
All right, that being said, guys, who do you guys got?
Wait. As crazy as it sounds, like Garrett Blunt's been looking all right the last 2 weeks.
He looked good last week.
So maybe he just needed a little bit of a jump start to get healthy or something.
All right, who do you guys
All
got?
that being said, though, gotta take the Eagles.
Same.
I got to.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing.
Oh, you're the worst.
I am the worst. The worst. All right, that's all the early morning games, guys. Let's talk about the afternoon games. There's only 3. I don't know why they do this. You keep saying do 4.
Well, now it's not so bad because
It's not
there's
so
bye
bad
weeks.
because there's bye weeks, but still.
Yeah, because there's only 8 games in the morning. But yeah.
Let's talk about the Ravens at the Raiders.
So,
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, we know Derek Carr's out.
Yeah.
Run them Ravens out there on daily fantasy. I mean, they're going to murder them.
Yep.
The defense will.
So
the offense
who
won't.
gets the start?
EJ Manuel.
Yeah.
I know he looked all right, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I have such a bad taste in my mouth when he was with the Bills. I got to see it from him, man. 'cause
rough.
I really don't like. I've never liked him.
But you guys don't feel that maybe Marshawn might go off? This
I
week?
haven't seen it yet, and he is already looking a little worn down.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, as a guy who in a couple of my MFL 10s drafted him as like my RB1 because I went wide receiver crazy. I am not happy about what's going on.
Ah, dude. I'm just such a big fan.
Yeah,
He looks done.
But that's I will say, because Manuel is athletic. He is much. I would say he's slightly more. He's quicker than Derek Carr.
Yeah.
If he runs a little bit more, that could open things up for Marshawn.
All right. I can see that.
Now
I can see that.
politically, if we got Kaepernick on that team with Marshawn,
Can you?
Oh,
did you see what they did?
No, I what?
Through the picture, right?
Yeah. No, I saw that.
Oh, okay.
Marshawn was wearing a shirt that said "Everyone versus Trump."
Yeah, I saw
Oh,
But during the national anthem, I think he was the only person that was still sitting, while everyone else was either kneeling or standing. And he was surrounded by staff, like not just like casually. They were lined up completely around him, so none of the cameras would see him.
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Anyway,
Why?
because they didn't want people to see this guy
Sitting down. It's bad for the team. It's good protest. It's bad for the team.
If I'm the owner
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey, it, we're leaving anyway. We're
Yeah.
going to Vegas. Give me Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
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 These fans can go to hell. If it's
No
all
one's
about
gonna-
wins,
Listen, no one's going to have a problem with Colin Kaepernick coming
No.
back.
no, I mean, now
Anybody that
that
does-
they have a problem with everybody,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who cares?
Let's go.
I just, it's such a pointless thing
Anyway,
with him.
Anyway,
Yeah.
we won't get into that.
No.
Okay.
Sorry.
But that's the only reason why I'd have maybe some hope for Marshawn is if Manuel opens up the run game a little bit. On the other side of the ball, I don't like anyone except for Alex Collins and maybe Ben Watson because Joe Flacco looks awful. Like, it looks like he should not be starting right now. It looks like he has a herniated disc that has not been treated correctly. Like, he's still dealing with a lot of pain and just isn't saying anything.
Yeah. It's bad. It's bad if you
That's another team that if you got a better quarterback, whether it's Colin Kaepernick or you trade for somebody, because, like, to be honest, the Colts GM looks smart as hell trading Philip Dorsett for Jacoby Brissett.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has looked like at least a starting caliber quarterback. He's won them a game.
And he'll start
Yeah.
somewhere for sure. If
You
it's
know?
not there, he'll start
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah.
He has a lot of traits. Like, he's still very raw, but it's like they saw something in that kid.
It's all coaching with him.
Yeah, and so I don't know why more teams aren't better about finding talent behind their starting quarterback. Because if they had anybody remotely better than Ryan Mallett, I think they would be starting them over Joe Flacco just until he got healthy.
Yeah.
Because now he's playing hurt and getting hurt every Sunday. So those are the only people I'd start in this game is maybe Alex Collins. And, I mean, you have to start. You know, if you have Amari Cooper, you're probably going to throw him out there. I don't know if Michael Crabtree's going to play this game. But I would also, I mean, tight end's so thin right now. I mean, you're probably starting Jared Cook and hoping for the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who you guys got?
Oh, the Ravens for sure.
You?
Oh, yeah, man. The Ravens.
I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go with the Raiders. Just because I like some
Yeah.
Marshawn. Yeah.
I was
I
so
think-
excited for the Raiders at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I know you were.
Gosh, I was so excited.
Yeah. I'm just going to go on a limb. See what happens.
I think the
Roll
Ravens
the
get it
dice.
right, get it back this week.
Roll the dice. All right, let's move on.
Oh,
Next
let me
game.
put that in there. Let me put that. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Forgot.
Hold
Okay,
on.
here we go.
Hold
Oh.
on. Oh.
Picked.
Oh, pick. Done. Next game. Talk about this one. Seattle Seahawks at the Los Angeles Rams.
Ugh. I don't know.
I love this game. I mean,
It's gonna be good.
I mean, it's going to be a tough game. Unfortunately for the Seahawks, they don't know what the hell they're doing at running back. I mean, if they were smart, I'd throw McKissick out there, but
Yeah.
they're not smart. They probably throw Rawls and Lacey and Procise and
Actually, I think Lacey's going to get a majority of the carries.
And
That's
wait
just
for
my
Lacey to
feeling.
get like 10 carries and 5 yards, and then think about
Yeah.
making a switch.
and then Aaron Donald's going to like give him a wedgie and murder him.
Oh man, the Rams just looked out of their minds.
Well, okay. The
This weekend.
Rams in the second half looked out of their minds. The first half,
No, well, their offense looked solid the whole game,
Yeah.
but their defense tightened up like crazy in the
Yeah.
second half.
Jeez. And it's hard to say that the Seahawks right now have a better offense, a more powerful offense than the Cowboys. You know what I mean?
You mean the Rams?
yeah.
No, last week the
Oh,
Cowboys.
yeah.
So for me, when I'm thinking about Seahawks and Rams, I'm comparing it to Cowboys and Rams, and I don't know. I feel like it's the same type of game.
And I'll put it this way: if the Cowboys didn't have Ezekiel Elliott or someone that could run like Ezekiel Elliott, they wouldn't have been this close.
No, not at all.
And I don't think the
No.
Seahawks have anybody that can run like that, or at least make it close.
The positive on the Seahawks side is Jimmy Graham seems to be getting healthy. He
Yeah,
looked all right.
he
He looked okay.
You know, Tyler
Yeah.
Lockett, man, I love that kid.
I'm telling you, he's been playing very well this season. He's not. It's not leading to
Yeah.
like huge games, but he has been a consistent factor for
Dude.
them.
Doug Baldwin.
He,
you know,
I mean,
even
for
not
him
even
playing
He
hurt,
yeah.
he looked tremendous on Sunday.
This one's tough.
And then,
It's tough.
and then for the Rams, I mean, everybody looks good.
Everybody.
Gurley,
Yeah,
looks
Gurley
like the
looks
Gurley
like
that they. Okay, it's like, oh, that's why you drafted him number 10 overall.
Yeah.
Dude. That kid looked insane. That touchdown was a he ran a route. That was a pass. Like that kid is ridiculous.
I will say
that,
this.
That was the touchdown.
Look.
Where I was like, oh my god.
I'm going to say something. Yeah, I know. For you, yeah, it was. Ooh. Did you almost wait?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
Chug it football all night.
Look, I will say this about that particular play. Had a one Sean Lee been in that game,
Very true.
maybe it doesn't go that way. We'll never know. We'll never know.
Never.
Ifs and buts don't mean here, man.
All right, we talked about these two teams.
Yeah, we
Who
talked
do you
about
guys
a lot.
You're
got?
starting everybody, though. You're starting everybody, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, again, Sammy Watkins is a tough matchup against Richard
Yeah.
Sherman.
Yep.
Yeah.
I probably like Robert Woods a little bit better.
Okay.
So did Dez, though, and Dez was still out there catching passes, you know? So I don't know. Is Richard
yeah, but-
Sherman losing his magic a little bit?
No,
No?
no way.
No, I
okay.
don't think so.
Look, I'm just asking. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
I'm nervous about my team.
And Dez was playing against the Rams, fool.
What am I talking about?
What are you
am I
talking
right now?
And he was on
Who
Trumaine
am I?
Johnson, and he didn't have a lot of yards, but he had that touchdown. Right, he had a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was it. That's what saved his. That's
Guys,
what saved his day.
Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Anyways,
All right, who do you guys got? Art?
also I'm not starting any of the. Well, if you're desperate, Thomas Rawls is who they talked about being the starter, and you can clearly run on the Rams. So I'm choosing the Rams.
Going with the Rams? I'll go first if you want me to.
No,
You want me to go first? I'll go first.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
Go Seahawks.
You know what? I'm right there with you, buddy. I think, yeah.
Hey.
I have a lot of faith in Russell.
Hey.
I do. I
Russell's
just
the
think that,
man.
you know what? The caliber quarterback play and the leadership that he exhibits
Yeah.
can bring a debilitated team back.
Means
So
a lot, man.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
All right. It's going to be a good one.
It's going to be a good game. I'm sorry, Brian.
What?
I'm not sorry.
Are we making bets or what?
No. I'm just excited to talk about the whooping that's going to come in this
boy.
next game.
mean, where do we begin?
It's going to be packing cheese everywhere.
¿Sabes qué, bro? El que se encuera, el que se agüita se encuera, bro. Puro Dallas Cowboys. Puro Dallas Cowboys. You know why? Because we're getting Sean Lee back this week. That's right. Play that song. Play that song. El que se agüita se encuera.
We're going to get.
Puro
Who's
Dallas
this? We're going
Cowboys.
to get sued
Oh,
by
I
him?
don't know, dude. Like, I tried to pick one where it was only like 1,000 views.
Nice. This is like the weirdest, like.
Introduction.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
you need to just like, next time you need to start it with where it just says the phrase. Like,
I'm sorry.
Listen. Prendele la vela. Okay, look, I'm going to say a couple things.
Say it.
One.
Say it.
Okay, one. Honestly. Now I'll talk honestly. I said my stuff. The Dallas Cowboys got exposed for the team that they really are again, and this is who they really are. They're not the 2016 team. If you take the run away from Dak, and we're thin on defense already. I'm surprised that right next to the Patriots, it's the Dallas Cowboys that for points allowed, because they look stupid, and there are a lot of stupid mistakes. Orlando Scandrick did something stupid on
there's a lot of
Sunday.
penalties, I think,
A lot of
that-
penalties,
yeah.
a lot of stupid ticky-tack call plays, just dumb. I'm concerned about one thing. I am concerned about Dak Prescott, and I am concerned about Dak Prescott being able to talk and being able to be on the same page with Des Bryant. If I'm on a league somewhere, I'm not starting Des Bryant because it just didn't look right. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. It looks like they're just not communicating. And I, for the life of me, don't understand what they're thinking rolling T-Will over Bryce Butler.
Yeah.
Like, what are they thinking? You see Bryce Butler and you see him play
So good.
He's probably
Yeah.
their best receiver right now.
The catches that he's making are ridiculous.
Because Des Bryant just isn't. I mean, there was a couple of throws to Des Bryant that I thought, what happened? That there was that one throw that could have been. It was a first down. It was low, and I understand it was a tough play.
Yeah.
but it was in his hands. It was in his hands. The 2-point conversion, the 3 2-point conversions that they had. Terrence Williams, make that catch. Why aren't you making that catch? I just don't understand.
Why are you
it.
targeting Terrence
So,
Williams?
Yeah, I really do think that if they don't figure this out, we're going to be in trouble and we're going to be third in the division.
I don't think the offense is the problem. I think the offense is more than fine. I don't know. What do you think? I think
their offense looks fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's starting now that like Zeke looked like regular Zeke,
He did.
and that opens everything up.
Right, and it does.
Big time.
But their defense is really bad.
just-
Even with Sean Lee
Well,
in there,
they're thin.
their cornerbacks are absolute trash.
Oh yeah.
And we're missing. I mean, Todd Gurley had the game that he had because we missed tackles left and right.
Yeah.
It was insane. And George and I were sitting there going, "You make that tackle. You're giving a first down." And that one play that gave you the boner from.
Easy, bro.
Because let's be honest, that's what happened. He should have been tackled in the secondary.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, come on. You had your hands on him.
Yeah.
So, I don't have... I mean, as a fan, I'm always going to have faith in the Dallas Cowboys, but as a realistic fan, man, I'm concerned. We're going to be third in the division because I just don't see them beating the Redskins. I don't see them beating the Eagles at all.
Yeah.
There's no way. Not with the way that Kirk Cousins is playing right now or the way that Carson Wentz is playing. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
The only thing giving me pause in this game is if Aaron Jones is playing. Because as okay or as decent as he is as a player, he's not Ty Montgomery.
Right.
Yeah.
So, in terms of fantasy players, I mean, you're starting everybody. You're starting
Everybody.
Zeke, Dez, Witten could even have a nice game here.
Yeah, he could.
All it'll probably be Randall Cobb, Jordy, and Geronimo Allison.
Oh, man.
Buddy.
Oh, man.
You done said it. You said his name. Yeah, nigga, I've been waiting the whole podcast for this moment. Let me talk to you, Jordy, for a little bit. Jordy Ray Nelson. That's right, baby. I looked up your middle name. Because I got to talk to you fully. Let me ask you. Jordy, let me tie your shoes. Because I don't want you falling for anyone else, baby. You are Conqueso Corners. Player of the week. Yes. That's right. Jordan.
Okay, let me just say this right now. This Conqueso's Corner is the shining moment of my whole week because I cry like this in the car. Like I started listening to it on Friday morning. I was driving to work. There were tears coming down my face. I couldn't. I had to
Just gotta
pull
give
over.
me a chance, man. Your laughs are so funny. I can't get through it.
There are tears coming down my nose, my face, my nose is all stuffed up now.
I was doing some simple math. Jordy Nelson could have about 2 to 5 touchdowns. I mean, my goodness.
That's absolutely what's going to happen on this
oh
team.
my gosh,
If,
man.
if last week was any indication of how the Dallas Cowboys are going to come out and play,
Yes.
that's the game that we're going to have.
At least 2 touchdowns since week 2. The Cowboys have given up to wide receivers.
But you just got to hope it's Jordy because I know they held Sammy
I know.
Watkins in check, and it was all Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods. Geronimo Allison could have a really nice game, but I like the Jordy call.
The only thing I can't get out of my mind is how much Aaron Rodgers looks towards him in the red zone.
All the
it's
time.
It's just him. It's
And
crazy.
he came out this week and said he wants to get Marty Bennett more involved, but it's going to be Jordy.
Let's say you put Orlando Scandrick on Jordy Nelson. Okay, I don't think that's what's going to be the matchup.
But even if it is,
Even if it is,
he can't keep up with him.
He's not going to keep up with him. And the other thing too is there is something to be said about quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, he's way better than Jared Goff, regardless of how good Jared's been.
I see Aaron Rodgers coming out and wanting to get ahead quick, early, and up.
Yeah,
big.
The other thing that Aaron Rodgers is going to do is he's going to look at this tape that they saw last week, and they're going to see if you ice Dak, if you ice Zeke, they're not firing on all cylinders, and we keep that defense out on the field. Game over.
Yeah.
Done.
And if Mike Daniels plays this game, I know he's been out for a while, but if there's even I tried looking it up. There's no info on whether he's even close. But if he plays this week, that's rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
He's a terror on that defensive line. But I will say,
Okay.
you know what else about this game?
Interesting. Let's hear it.
Aaron motherfucking Jones.
Do it again. Do it again. Do it again.
You tap.
How happy were you when he got his score?
So
last
good.
week? Yeah.
Oh, my
And I don't
gosh.
care what they're saying. There is no way Ty Montgomery's playing this week. There's no way.
Broken
Yeah.
ribs.
And he's still saying it still kind of hurts. Like, yeah, they're going to throw your ass out there against Dallas? No.
No.
What if you get somebody falls on you? That
Yeah.
rib goes
No.
right into what's right there? Your lungs.
Your lungs.
Yeah.
You
Die.
can collapse.
Dude.
Yeah, you can
Come on.
collapse your lungs.
Yeah, there's no way.
No.
It'll be Aaron Jones.
yeah. Come on.
Now, it's somewhat of a tough. If John Lee plays, it's a much tougher matchup.
It is,
If he
yeah.
doesn't play,
And
Aaron Jones.
Wow.
there's no guarantee that he is going to.
No.
Sean Lee. So
And I think just as an ad, it's just a waiver wire ad
Yeah.
in general. Just Ty Montgomery isn't the most durable dude.
No, and Jamal Williams, we haven't gotten any updates on him aside that he's dealing with a bad knee injury. Apparently, it wasn't season ending, but even when he was getting his reps, he did not look good. Now, Aaron Jones didn't look fantastic either last week,
Yeah.
but the Bears' front seven is better than most people understand it to be.
yeah.
And if he's the only guy there, I mean, again, opportunity. You're
Opportunity
always looking for the intersection of opportunity and talent.
Opportunity knocks Aaron Jones. All right, that's it. Who do you guys got? ¿Sabes qué?
Oh, you know it.
¿Sabes qué?
You convinced me, man.
¿Sabes qué?
I am going with the Packers.
Okay.
Let
Daniel?
me just get it out real quick.
Go Cowboys.
I'm going for the Packers.
El que se agüita se encuera. Y ¿sabes qué? Los dos cabrones se van a encuerar. Se van a encuerar ustedes dos cabrones. ¿Sabes qué? The Cowboys are going to win. We're going to take this. ¿Sabes qué? Aaron Rodgers va a llorar, güey. Va a llorar.
Okay, now you got to go back in the Spanish and delete.
Which one do I delete?
Va a llorar.
The cabronis?
The cabrones.
yeah.
I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys because I got to
you're
stick
a
with my
homer.
It's
team.
going to be like 50 to
I
25.
But
that
you know
that
what?
sounds about right.
yeah.
I love my Dallas Cowboys.
It's
love
going to
my
be fun.
Dallas
It'll
Cowboys.
definitely be fun.
And actually,
You know what?
And before we go to break, I saw this crazy stat on Kareem Hunt, the man in fantasy
Which
football
we're
right
going to
now.
talk about next.
Man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then I'll save it. I'm gonna save it.
Yeah.
Say it, yeah.
All right.
That's good. Get the listeners to come back.
Yeah, come back.
Hour
For the,
two.
this is a good stat.
This is a good stat. All right, guys. That being said, we are Crowd and Town Creative. www.crowdandtowncreative.com. You can find all of our work, and if you're willing and interested to hire us, give us a call. Drop us a line if you want to promote your business. Why
Yes.
not? We're fun.
Yeah.
You would laugh if nothing else.
Yeah.
You know, Daniel.
Not at our work.
Can you?
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah,
not at work. I mean, you would laugh at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel could talk sweet nothings into your ear.
Hey, all night, all day too.
You know, it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
And if you're interested, just drop us a line. But yeah, anyway, that being said, we're going to take a little break and we'll be right back. Wow.
So I was easily in the top 10 for like 30 minutes.
What was it like up at the top?
I showed Danielle, my coworker, and she's like, "You're probably like, should I get a yacht? Am I a yacht man?"
I love that. I love that. Do it again.
You're so bossy.
I love it. I absolutely love it. That has to be the best.
I'm going to tell myself to do it again because I only listen to myself.
In case you didn't notice, we're back. Living in Fiction Fantasy Football Podcast. We're back. We're going to talk about Sunday night, Monday night, and then our drops. So let's talk about that Sunday night game. I'm kind of excited about this game.
Yeah, now that
Chiefs
Deshaun Watson.
at Texans. Deshaun Watson.
And yeah, I was going to say, despite how good the Chiefs' defense has been, I think I saw a stat that they're still giving up the sixth most yards to opposing quarterbacks.
Wow.
Dude,
It's a good matchup for Deshaun
Kirk
Watson.
Cousins won that game.
Yeah, might
Josh
as well.
Dotson
All he had
lost
to do
in
was
that game.
All he had to do was catch that ball.
Kirk Cousins don't want it.
So in case you're hearing this, my wife, my lovely, lovely, lovely wife, is making dinner
Yeah.
because we're right next to the kitchen. She's making tacos.
Beans don't fry in the kitchen, right? Fish don't burn on the grill, something like that.
Yeah, I got
okay.
you.
Took a whole. Yeah, okay. We're gonna get sued for that too.
Trying.
Just to get up that hill.
That's good. Yeah,
That's good. All right.
For this game, so usually I would say, okay, watch out for number 1 wide receivers against Marcus Peters. But DeAndre Hopkins is getting 44% of his team's targets, which is absurd.
Ridiculous.
I mean, with that many targets, I mean, he's going to get, his fantasy value, especially in PPR leagues.
Has the most receptions of any receiver. Has the most targets of any receiver this year. It's amazing.
It's crazy. And last year, they talk about...
Your house?
We're definitely
What
at Freddie's
do they
house.
talk about? What do they talk
Full
about?
surprises.
Either regression or progression, right? And if you looked at his touchdowns from last year, like based on opportunity, he got way fewer touchdowns than he should have been. And that means like based on targets, based on where he was getting the targets, based on red zone targets, he should have had more touchdowns just based on opportunity. Mm-hmm. So that number, the minuscule number of touchdowns was due to a regression to the mean. Mm. So he was supposed to like bounce back more towards what's normal. And that's why between the opportunity and him coming back like this week with the 2 touchdowns, right? The 1 touchdown, I mean, he is the star of that team right now.
Oh yeah.
And it's just opening it up for everybody else. And now with Will Fuller back, they can't just like, who cares about whoever's on the other side? Like, Will Fuller is fast. And granted, he drops his fair share of balls, but I mean, that is a terrible combination of people to try to defend. So I am happy starting Hopkins. I'm happy starting Fuller. I mean, it's going to be a shootout of a game. And it's also, I mean, I think it's going to be a shootout because while both teams are really good up front, their secondary isn't as good. Yeah. And I like Tyreek Hill. You're starting Travis Kelce. I mean, the question mark for the Texans is what do you do with their running backs? Because they're both playing pretty well. Yep. Lamar Miller finally had the game that everyone was hoping for last week. But Deontay Foreman looked pretty solid too. So, I mean, they're splitting carries in that game. Mm-hmm. And if it's a shootout, I don't know who's going to get more opportunity. Yeah. I'd probably put my money on Miller. And then, of course, there's a guy you never sit.
Never.
The number 1 running back in the league, Kareem, my man, Hunt.
So I believe you have a stat.
This is an absurd stat, right? Because they measure 2 things, right? Especially when you're looking, especially when you're talking about running backs, you measure how many yards they get before contact and how many yards they get after contact. If you split that up into 2 running backs, right? For Kareem Hunt, his yards before contact and after contact, they each would be top 15 in rushing yards.
Oh my God.
Before contact, he's getting 246 yards, and afterwards he's getting 256. That's a testament to both him and his offensive line. I mean, that's crazy.
That is amazing. Andy Reid's running backs, dude. If he didn't draft him.
By the way, my computer's about to crash.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Let me take a picture.
All that being said,
why is your computer going to crash? Do you need a charge?
Oh, yeah. Give me your...
Here.
What? Hey, that's mine. I've been sitting here at 100%. Dude, why am I charging my computer at 100%? I'm sorry, man. Do you need some power?
Why don't you take these extra pair of gloves? My hands are all sweaty.
We're in the Rockies.
I don't think mine works with you.
Oh, here, this one does.
Mine's old.
Yeah, his is old.
Oh, yours is older. No, wait.
No, this is newer one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Simmons is old.
He doesn't want to go home because it's like his wife.
What's that from? Real quick. Go.
4, 3, 2, 1. You suck.
Liars. Liar. Okay.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Hey, I think the Chiefs get the first loss this week. I think Deshaun Watson, dude, that guy is the real deal.
Deshaun gets D win, huh?
Ooh.
All right.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
I already submitted it.
All right.
No going back.
You know what? I'm going to agree with you. I think the Chiefs get their first loss, and I think it's to the Houston Texans.
Wow.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs. They just look too good, man.
My phone farted. And my wife's making food.
It's okay.
No,
I like
it's
it.
okay.
It smells super
It's actually
good.
a nice little background noise. I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Little sizzle.
Like we're on Rachel Ray.
We on fire right now.
Yeah, we on fire.
We straight fire. Is that how you?
All right.
Is that how the kids say? it?
Yeah, it's lit up in here.
Ooh. I love it.
All right.
All right. I'm surprised you didn't pass out just now.
That was close.
All right, final game, week 4, Monday night football. Vikings at the Bears.
I'm excited for this game.
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Mitchell Trubisky is
that's
starting
Oh,
this
that's
game.
right.
First game of the season for him. It's only a matter of time
So
before
here's
draft
the question:
happens.
will they win? No.
Not- if Case Keenum keeps playing the way he's playing, they have a shot.
Yeah.
Now, he'll get a little bit of extra time because they're playing Monday and not Sunday, but it's a really good matchup.
So Dalvin Cook being
That's the other
down
thing.
kind of creates a different team.
Yeah, because people had to worry about Dalvin Cook, and they don't have a Dalvin Cook like backup. They have Latavius Murray and Jerick McKinnon, who are two totally different backs. And my guess is they're going to give Latavius Murray more run, who is not as good as a running back as Dalvin Cook. Again, I think a healthy Jerick McKinnon is better than Latavius Murray, but that takes so much pressure off defenses to worry about the run, and now all they have to worry about is stopping Case Keenum. So,
Dude.
but they do not have anyone to stop Stephon Diggs.
That's what I was gonna say.
I mean, he could go off for like 150 and 2 touchdowns in this game.
Green Bay murdered the Bears last week.
Yeah.
And so, I
But
mean,
I do think Trubisky, even though he has probably the worst set of wide receivers in the entire league, could keep this close with his. If he plays as good as he did in the preseason, it could be close. Especially
What
because
kind of a quarterback is he? I really didn't pay attention.
he reminded me a little bit of Marcus Mariota in terms of how fast he can be. Maybe not as fast, but he's agile. He can run. And I'm trying to think which quarterback does he remind me of. If you somehow could mix Alex Smith with Marcus Mariota,
That's who he is.
that's who he reminded me
wow.
of.
Yeah.
All right.
He made some really great plays. He's good at extending plays. He's a little like Deshaun Watson. And the Bears are confident that they got the best quarterback in the draft. And if that's the case, with how good Deshaun Watson has looked the last couple of weeks, I mean, it's exciting to see potentially, especially because, one thing people forget is that with John Fox, he always has a solid defense, and he always has a great run game. And regardless of what you think about the Bears, they have a good run game, and their defense has held up better than expected given how talent poor they are.
Yeah.
And so if now you have a quarterback that knows how to use all of his weapons better than Glennon did, because Glennon was bad. He was really
just
bad.
awful.
And he has Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen out of the backfield because they're one of the only teams that's been doing that, putting both of their running backs in the backfield at the same time. There's a lot of possibilities.
Okay.
Real quick stat: Vikings quietly are kind of a little bad at defending the tight ends. Zach Miller.
Zach Miller.
They say rookie QBs go
Rely on their tight end. That's a
Yeah.
good call. That is
Yeah.
a good call.
Hey, I'm
Make
just
a
looking
note of
it up right
that.
here. It's all right here in the numbers. Detroit kind of torched them last week.
Yeah,
Tampa
so-
Bay did with
So
both of their tight ends.
I love Diggs and Thielen.
Okay.
If it turns into a shootout at all, I prefer Jerick McKinnon, but just watch what the injury report says about his ankle.
Yeah.
For the same reason, I really like Jordan Howard and Tariq Cohen to both have good games
Good
this
games
week.
this week.
All right, man.
That being said, final game. Who you guys got?
I don't know if a rookie QB goes into Minnesota.
They're playing at Chicago.
Oh, I don't know. I'm still picking the Vikings, man. I still am.
Yeah.
I'm picking my Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might go off.
I think that might be the difference. I'm going to go with
go
the
on.
Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Vikings too. Let's submit the picks. What score do you predict here?
I'm doing this later because
You're going to do this later?
You guys, I'm in the lead because you are not submitting before the first game on Thursday.
I'll do this when I get home.
I got 10 right last week. You only got 9. I'm winning.
How many did I get?
Well, technically you guys got 10, but you didn't submit before the Thursday game.
Yeah, we would have been tied
So
again.
you have 9, and I'm winning.
Because you and I
I'm the
tied
best.
this week.
Yeah.
You were.
It says right here.
By default, that's why you're the best. So
First
whatever.
place.
Whatever, man.
So it was final score.
27-3.
27-3.
I give them one field goal.
I'm gonna go 21-10. I think they score.
I'm going to go with 24-17.
Okay.
I think it's going to be
I
close.
mean, I still think the Vikings defense is okay. I mean, they're not bad.
I'm just saying, I think you can't prepare for him. You don't know there's no tape on this kid.
Just go sack him.
All right.
All right, that is week 4. Daniel,
In the books.
what do you have for me, Daniel?
Which one's first?
We got.
What are we doing first?
Come
What are we
on
doing
now.
first? Come on now.
We know the order.
We know the order.
Oh, we know the orders.
We know.
You mind if I take a look at my doctor? Yeah, you said that several times last night, but really, you're just a dentist.
Did anyone stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night?
I'm a doctor, Cliff, not a mathematician.
I didn't spend 6 years in evil medical school to be called Mr. Thank you very much.
Damn it, man, I'm a doctor, not a torpedo technician.
Doc? Doc!
I'm a doctor, not a tour guide. Figure it out yourself, okay? You're big boys.
What's up, Doc?
What's up, Doc?
Yeah.
So we got doctor's orders, daily fantasy orders from Dr. Arthur Alexander.
I want to start
Magneto.
calling you the torpedo technician, by the way.
What does that mean?
I don't know. I just like it.
That sounds.
That sounds
Torpedo technician.
like I kind of want to have some torpedo technician come over to my house and fix my torpedo. You know what I'm saying?
Easy.
Hey, doctor's orders. Dr. Arthur, what do you got?
Okay, so again, for those who this is the first time listening, I'm looking for value deals for you in terms of daily fantasy. I'm trying to give you the option. So like last week, I loved Powell and I loved Kroft because they're super cheap. I mean, Kroft was, I think usually the minimum is 3,000. He was only like 2,600.
Yeah.
And Powell was 4,600 and he was a starting running back and they both came through, and Deshaun Watson. So those three alone would allow you in a bunch of the lineups, I had Le'Veon Bell, LaShawn McCoy, Keenan Allen, and A.J. Green.
Yeah.
And usually you can't fit those 4 players into one lineup unless you're going super cheap otherwise.
Yeah.
So this sounds crazy, but in terms of quarterbacks, if you're just based on what they're going to be priced at or what they are priced at and their matchup, Jacoby Brissett, I love his rushing ability. All it takes is one rushing touchdown, and that'll put you over the mark. Even if Deshaun Watson hadn't thrown for as many touchdowns as he did, he had that rushing touchdown that really put him over. Jay Cutler. I could see a big bounce-back game. It's a super risky move, but a deflated Titans team without Marcus Mariota, I could see that team just totally imploding without him there.
Hey, high risk, high reward.
High risk, high reward.
Hey, there it is.
Running back.
I love this.
Aaron? Mother? I'll stop. Aaron Jones. I love Aaron Jones this week. Just the opportunity alone, I highly doubt Ty Montgomery is going to be there. They'll probably have to sign someone else off their practice squad to join him because I don't think they have anyone else who's healthy behind him aside from, what's his name, Aaron Ripkowski.
Ripkowski, yeah.
So I love just the opportunity he gets. And again, even if Sean Lee's playing, I still think it's a decent matchup. The Cowboys have been a little bit better against the run. And obviously Aaron Jones isn't Todd Gurley, but I think he can find some success, especially if Aaron Rodgers gets off to a hot start.
Yes.
That'll open things up in terms of the run game. So I like Aaron Jones, and he should be pretty cheap. Devontae Parker.
Yes, sir.
He is more of a value for a higher-end running back. Wide receiver.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned before, I like Aldrick Robinson a lot. He is now the speed on the 49ers now that Marquise Goodwin's dealing with the concussion. For tight end, like I said, Austin Seferian-Jenkins should still be pretty cheap. He's my start of the week at tight end because he's going against the Browns. Like Dan said, I just added this one, Mr. Zach Miller.
Hey?
Going up against the Vikings. Now, granted, there are some. So for the main slates, for like the Millionaire Maker or for the big $3 $100,000 to the first place contest, it only goes from it's only Sunday. So Monday night wouldn't count. But there are some that do like Sunday night to Monday night or Monday night to Thursday night. So if you're doing one of those, I like Zach Miller. In terms of my favorite defenses to start, I love the Ravens. And I don't care how good they looked against the Browns, I like the Bills' defense. If they did what they did in Atlanta,
absolutely,
to Matt Ryan and Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman, like, there is no way they can't. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities for them to have a double-digit game against Andy Dalton with how bad he's been playing.
And I think that's a solid start with the Bills.
That, and all you're doing, especially in fantasy or in daily, you are looking for those touchdown opportunities. And that, the reason why the Bills were such a good matchup is because they've been pretty good at creating turnovers.
Yeah.
So I like the Bills.
Who got that touchdown? Because they gave one up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their first one. Who was it? Devonta Freeman?
I think so.
But so it's still no wide receiver touchdown.
No wide receiver touchdown.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
Do you think AJ Green breaks that?
Maybe.
Okay.
But I could see with Andy Dalton forcing it to him, and with how good the Bills have been at defending just wide receivers in general, I could see that. That's where I'm like, turnovers could definitely happen in this game.
Gosh darn, that would be amazing to watch if they defended AJ Green like that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Awesome. I like it.
Okay.
All right, that's doctor's orders.
Dolphins.
Wait.
Dolphins defense.
Dolphins defense.
Against Matt Castle.
So I do have to say that these doctor's orders are for somebody that's never done it, this is the first year I've done it, these come in really handy. They really do come in handy because you're having to budget some money and you kind of don't know how it works, and it is a little intimidating.
Yeah.
But once you get rolling and you've done it a couple times, it's like, man, it's kind of fun because it makes the games that much more fun to watch. And all of a sudden, I'm cheering on whoever it was that I picked
watching
up
games that you normally wouldn't. It's just like it's like an extension of fantasy football because oftentimes, like, when there's a real crap game on, people say like the only people watching this game right now are fantasy players because they're waiting to see if their players are going to go off. Same thing goes for like, okay, all my teams have played, and I'm watching, whatever game. Like the other day, I was watching the 49ers and the Cardinals because I had Larry Fitzgerald in there, or I had Andre Ellington in there, and I was hoping he was going to go off. But normally, I wouldn't be really invested in that game.
Yeah, it makes it fun. It makes it fun.
It really, really does. And if you've never tried DraftKings before, there's constantly free contests.
Yeah,
just to kind of wet your feet in it.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
And even
really
the quarter ones are really fun too.
Yeah.
You win a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Daniel's a quarter king.
Yeah.
Jeez. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Seriously, yeah. With what you're getting back for only your investment of a quarter, it's crazy.
It is kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah.
I really need to start. No, I can't bet more money. My wife would kill me.
All right. Let's hear it.
It is.
Stacks on stacks on.
Stacks on stacks on.
Stacks on stacks on.
Stacks on stacks on. Stacks on stacks on. Stacks on stacks on.
Stacks on stacks on. Stack of the week.
That was good. I love that so much.
I love it too.
All right, so my stacks of the week. I love pairing up Carson Palmer with Fitzgerald or Jaron Brown. Again, I just have a feeling. I like Cutler with Parker or Landry or Stills, and potentially a combination of two of those. I could see putting both Parker and Landry or Landry and Stills.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's going to be a high-scoring game for the Dolphins. I like Cam and Funchess.
All right.
They seem like they're doing pretty well together.
My cat likes it too.
Clearly. This one's crazy. And I should have put him on my QBs for the doctor's orders. But if you're looking for a crazy stack, McCown and Austin Seferian-Jenkins.
I might do them in a quarter league just to see what happens.
The Browns.
The Browns just love giving up touchdowns to tight ends.
Yeah.
And McCown needs a real feel-good game.
And Narrative Street.
Hey.
McCown's coming back to the Browns.
Narrative.
That's it. I added this one right now. So this one's on here. LaShawn McCoy and the Bills.
All right.
Because you can run on the Bengals. Jay Ajayi and the Dolphins defense.
Okay.
I think you could have, and that's a good one being contrarian because a lot of people are looking to the last 2 weeks of Jay Ajayi not doing anything. So it's going to be low owned in a good matchup, and you're playing the Dolphins.
Dude, I like it.
Alex Collins, who's emerged as kind of like the guy for the Ravens.
Yeah.
And the Ravens defense because, again, going against E.J. Manuel. And then my other one, just because of just how good the matchup is and the fact that the Steelers defense has been playing very well.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell and the Steelers defense.
Wow.
They are playing at home, and I'm telling you, I'm rolling out with Martavis. Big Ben has got to connect with them at some point, right?
Has to.
It's bound to happen. He keeps throwing it his way. Poorly. But he's throwing it his way.
Poorly.
I don't want to add on to Arthur's. Arthur's the man. Arthur's the doctor. I like his Le'Veon Bell.
But I will say, if you are confident like Daniel in them bouncing back in terms of their passing and receiving,
yeah,
a stack of like Ben and Martavis Bryant. I mean, you could potentially get all 4 of them in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ben, Bell, Bryant. There's no way you could probably get Brown in there, but Bryant and the Steelers defense.
Whew, that's a solid stack.
Could be a big one.
I might do that one in the quarter.
Why not?
Why not? Why the heck not? All right, guys, that's it. We are Living in Fiction Fantasy Football Podcast. As always, you can find us on www.crowdandtowncreative.com. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Go on, look. You can go look at our Living in Fiction Fantasy Football tab. Guys, if you're on iTunes and you're listening to this on iTunes and you still haven't rated it, there's something wrong with you. Go rate this.
Please.
Please rate this. And then,
and I'll have my sleeper articles up probably on Friday night, somewhere around there. So you can look at it on Saturday.
Yeah.
Find out the sleepers. I know I listed some of them here, but we'll put some of them on Instagram, and then I put some of my like super deep sleepers, like my Hail Marys, on there. That's where I had Tyler Kroft.
Yep.
So, yeah, you can find that on our website. So good luck to y'all in week 5.
Yes, guys, that's it. We'll see you guys next week. Play us out.
All right.
See you guys later.
Oh,
Were you playing us out or what?
I added it in post. You ever play that now?
No. Oh. I don't know. Whatever.
Way to make this ending.
I know. That was awkward.
It's
one of those awkward buys.
All right, you
guys like sneak it out the door.
Everyone get the hell out of here.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Ooh, that's a good jam too.
Dude, yeah, he's one of those guys where you could just kind of like jump in the car and you're gonna road trip across the country.
Yeah.
Windows down.
Pants off.
Sounds like a party. Honey, when we go this week, I'm going to do this.